Good afternoon, my Chafee Panthers. Today's topic on my presentation will be social media detoxes need to be encouraged to reduce anxiety and depression. So picture this. You wake up, open your eyes, before you even stretch or think about breakfast, your hand automatically reaches for your phone. Within seconds, you're scrolling through Instagram, TikTok, or even Snapchat. 10 minutes turn into 30. You see people who look happier, more successful, more attractive, and suddenly your own life feels a little less impressive. And this happens before you've even stepped out of your own bed. For millions of young adults, this is a real reality. And unfortunately, researchers are finding that this constant digital exposure is connected to skyrocketing cases of anxiety and depression. That's why today I want to talk about the importance of social media detoxes, intentional breaks from apps that many of us use without even thinking. According to 2018, a study by Melissa Hunt and her colleagues published in the Journal of Social and Clinical Psychology, limiting social media use doesn't just save time, it reduces anxiety, loneliness, and depression. These are significant findings, and they help show why detoxing from social media is more important than ever nowadays. Today, I will cover three main points: how excessive social media use is linked to anxiety and depression and low self esteem, how social media detoxes improve mental health by reducing stress and strengthening real life relationships, and finally, why encouraging regular social media breaks leads to long term emotional stability and a healthier digital lifestyle. So, my first point: excessive social media use is linked to anxiety and depression. Let's start with the real problem here. Everyone knows social media isn't perfect, but many people don't realize just how strongly it really does affect our mental health. Heavy social media use has consistently linked to higher levels of anxiety and depression. In Hunt's 2018 study, participants who reduced their social media use to 30 minutes a day experienced significant decreases in depression and loneliness. This wasn't just over years either. This happened within just a few weeks. Another major study by Jean Twenge and W. Keith Campbell in 2019 found that high screen time, especially on social media, correlated with lower psychological well being in children and teens. Participants who spent more time scrolling reported more sadness, mood swings, and difficulty focusing. So, what's causing this? One major factor is comparison. Social media is built around highlight reels, perfect vacations, perfect bodies, perfect relationships. Seeing this nonstop creates unrealistic expectations and makes people feel like they're not even good enough. Another is information overload. Constant notifications keep the brain overstimulated and exhausted. And finally, social media can make people feel left out. Even if you're home relaxing, you might see friends hanging out without you. This can create real emotional hurt, what we often think of as FOMO or a fear of missing out. So the research is clear. Too much scrolling can damage mental health in very powerful ways. My second point: social media detoxes improve mental health. Now, for the good news: taking intentional breaks from social media can dramatically improve our mental health. A social media detox doesn't mean deleting every app forever. It simply means stepping back on purpose, maybe for a day, a weekend, or just certain hours of the day. When people do this, amazing things start to happen. First, stress levels drop. Constant scrolling keeps the mind in a state of comparison, pressure, and distraction. When you take time away, your brain finally gets a chance to actually rest. Second, people sleep better. Many of us scroll right before bed, which exposes our eyes to blue light and keeps our minds awake. During detoxes, people fall asleep faster and wake up feeling a lot more refreshed. Third, detoxes improve real life relationships. Without the phone constantly buzzing, people engage more deeply with the people around them: friends, parents, siblings, and partners. Cal Newport, author of Digital Minimalism, argues that intentional breaks from social media help people rediscover what genuinely brings them joy. He explains that by reducing digital noise, individuals can reconnect with their values, their goals, and the people they truly do care about. In short, detoxes are not about restriction, they're about regaining control. And my third and final point: regular detoxes build long term emotional stability. Finally, social media detoxes aren't just a short term fix, they create a long term emotional stability. When people take breaks regularly, maybe once a week or even an hour every evening, they develop healthier digital habits. They stop checking the apps automatically, they compare themselves less, they feel more confident and less dependent on online validation. Over time, this leads to a healthier digital life where social media becomes a tool rather than a source of stress. People who detox regularly are more likely to feel emotionally stable, maintain stronger in-person relationships, focus better in school or work, set boundaries that protect their mental health. Encouraging these habits, especially among young adults, can help create a culture where social media supports well-being instead of harming it. For me, especially, this is something that has truly affected me and is the biggest reason why I myself have wanted to talk about this. I have firsthand experienced this. In conclusion here, to wrap up, social media detoxes are not just a trend. They are a powerful tool for protecting mental health. Research from Twain, Campbell, and Newport all point to the same conclusion. Excessive social media use harms well-being, but intentional breaks can repair it. We all deserve to feel stable, confident, and in control of our mental health. And sometimes the first step is as simple as putting the phone down. This concludes my presentation. Thank you for listening.